Live from our studios in Lagos, Nigeria. This is Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. Now let's move to our conversation for today. Organizers of the hashtag End Bad Governance demonstration set for tomorrow, August 1, have rejected the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun's proposal for confined protests.
Very true. And moving on, at a meeting, the IGP suggested limiting protests to specific locations and advised against street rallies. Ebun Olu Adegboruwa, a senior advocate of Nigeria, further stated, representing the Take It Back movement, opposed this suggestion.
The virtual meeting was attended by human rights lawyer Femi Falana, SAN, the Nigerian Bar Association NBA, and civil society groups. The protests are driven by economic hardship and rising prices are scheduled to hold nationwide, including the FCT,
True.
Abuja.
Yeah, very true. Despite warnings from authorities and appeals from politicians to cancel the rallies, organizers and young people are determined to proceed.
Adegboruwa had requested police coverage, and the IGP responded by directing officers to ensure safety. But some agents of violence, ostensibly motivated by sponsors of anarchy, have begun threatening some residents of Lagos State to discourage participation in the hunger protests.
And in a viral clip, voices could be heard warning market vendors not to join the protests, comparing potential destruction to that seen during the hashtag #EndSARS protest. The speakers threatened those who protest, stating, quote, "If you dare come out, you will be mercilessly dealt with," end quote.
So that we have it still with us in the studios to talk more on these, Barrister Vance Ofeli and Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Thank you, gentlemen, for hanging on. And thank you so very much. And Barrister Tunji, let's take a look at this. You know, when politicians see what they should do but refuse to do that, like the case of what we have now, thugs and miscreants coming to discourage people, threaten people, not to come out for what they know is their fundamental human right. At what point do you think politicians would understand that it's important that even if we don't have, we differ, there should be a consensus to solve a problem?
It will be an error to say, because I don't understand what you said.
But the organizers obviously should.
What they are doing is to achieve their own objective. When they have an objective to achieve, they will pretend as if they don't understand anything. And then they will go the way they want to go. The way they want to go is what they will be telling to you, and that's what they're selling. In fact, if I thought this protest is going to be violent or whatever, it is the government that is selling the violence. And I'm surprised that people that are going to people who are saying no to protest, the way they are going about it so clearly that they will be the one to disrupt it if there's going to be any crisis. Because, and I'm not surprised that the police is not saying anything about that. The police is not taking any step regarding that. So we already know we already have a clue as to those who are likely to make this peaceful planned protest becomes rioted or violence, what's it called? Protest. You can hear from A to Z. You see much more the anti-protest supporters. You can see what they are doing. In fact, they even did their own protest, or doing the same protest
against
the protest. They say they should not vote. So if you can do your own protest, why must you force me not to do my own? And if the fact that somebody the protest is not good as well, it is my choice to know whether I want to protest or not. It's not for you to tell me not to protest. If I have a reason, in fact, you need not have a reason to protest. You can protest. People may be and people can look at you as a mad person, but you are protesting. You have your own reason without any justification. In as much as you are not causing violence, in as much as you are not disrupting any peace, in as much as you are not infringing any other person's right, you can protest. It's your choice. So you don't have to have any. For those who are asking, what are they protesting for? I don't have to have a reason. But if I'm protesting against government, I can say this government failed to do my road in my area. And because of that, I am protesting. A New York general. So, and this one is even clear. The government themselves acknowledge that people are hungry. There's hunger in the land. There is a problem on the land. But what they are asking for is time. So, in other words, they understand, they know the reason for the protest. So anybody that is saying doesn't understand the reason for the protest is just playing. Then you see the Asari Dokubos and Co. They have the right to say no protest. It's their choice to stay in their houses. But you can't threaten people who want to protest. Because I hear them. I hear most of these people, even in Lagos, they come out and if you are born well, you come out and see what will happen to you. Those are clear indication of those that will disrupt the protest. I've always said that look, any protest that's been done that turned to a crisis or whatever, it's not because of the protesters. It is because the government or certain people who doesn't want the protest want to score a particular point, and that's why you see what is going on. How can you be threatening people that come out and see what will happen to you? That's an indication. And I expect government to be arresting and investigating those kind of people. Why are you saying this? The duty of the police is to provide adequate security. It's not for them to say, "Don't you can advise me." I'm not under obligation to take your advice as to how I'll go about my protest. What you can tell, the advice you give me is that ensure that it's peaceful, ensure that you don't infringe on other people's rights, ensure that everything is orderly, and they will give you proper protection. But not to say, don't go there, don't do it because it will be hijacked. By who? By who? They have intelligence report showing that certain people want to do this, but they don't have intelligence report of those, not even intelligent now, it's even open. Those who want to disrupt the protest, because they are coming out, they are saying it. Even those in government are saying it. And they are making it look like, in fact, for me, the government has popularized this protest than even the owners of the protest. They've given them free advertisements, free wide publicity, because some people became aware of the government way of doing it, of going about it. Everybody is now now doing what's it called? They're now talking and then using ethnic and religious sentiment, just like our Senate president said yesterday. Your son is now the Senate president. What benefit is it for them? That is position as Senate president. What benefit are you giving to those people in this area that he's talking about? The benefit is enjoying the benefit alone, and with his caucus and the colleagues and the family, and he's using that to collude them. Say, look, don't allow them, now that your son is now the Senate president, you don't join the protest, you don't allow them to destroy what benefit as that is position given to his people.
Thank you, Barrister Tunji. Barrister Philly, now the Secretary of Police came out to state that those who want to come out to protest should come write out their names, they should submit their names. Now, at this point, if the youth or the citizens are refusing to cooperate in the aspect of submitting their name, should they be faulted or should they be seen as not cooperating with the security?
No. They don't have to write their names. There's nowhere in the law that says you should write your name. From even the International Convention, the International Convention 1966 that has to do with protests. There's nowhere in that charter, the UN charter, where it is said that before you protest or make public assemblies, you have to come and write your name somewhere. No. Okay. Now look at what is going on. Did you see those guys who on the internet that had the placard say no to protest? Did you see how hungry looking they are? The economy have battered them to the point of squalor. That the moment they gave them money, say go and do a demonstration, that there should be no protest, they drag their feet in their hunger and desperation to go make some public spectacle of themselves and their images. You see, those who are saying there should be no protest aren't saying that because they are comfortable. They are saying so because they have been, they have collected, yes, they have collected the gratification to go do so. Those who are saying if they burn you will come out and protest, those are the same entities that were used during the election in Lagos State that made the same statement that if they burn you well, come here and vote for PDP. If they burn you well, come here and vote for another political party. The same entities, you understand? So the government know how to brew violence. It gets people who are supposed to be reformed. Unfortunately, government empowers them, use them to do dirty jobs, then turn around to tell the public that the protests have been hijacked by hoodlums. Whereas you provided mobilization for them. In the NSAS protests, we saw these people who came to counter the protests. The government brought them with SUVs, gave them VIP treatments.
Even BRT buses.
Yes, BRT buses were used.
What they call those?
Yeah, BRT buses. And the government forgot that they are dealing with the Gen Zs that have drones and cameras all over the place, picking all images, all angles. A 360 view, well covered. In fact, the SRS protest didn't even need journalists. There were enough gadgets. In fact, the journalists were feeding from the gadgets of the citizens. So this is not one protest that government can come and introduce violence, so like it did in the last time and got away with it. Even the panel they set up invited them. When they go to the international scene, when Christian Amlampo asked the Lagos State governor who invited the soldiers, he said he didn't invite them. The soldiers went to the panel the next day and said the governor called them. So you find this double standard all over the place. And for those who think that they can threaten protesters, I just want to warn them, because they may even put themselves in more trouble. Because the truth is that those who are out there to protest are overwhelming. So if you go with your few numbers to go and disrupt, you will be engulfed by the protests.
But don't you think that's the reason security operatives are saying let the protest be a confined thing so they can better
the security operative cannot tell the protesters how to organize their protest.
Really?
Yes.
Even if it's to ensure their safety.
No, it's not. See,
I'm angry. You won't tell me how to express my anger.
The security forces are supposed to come up with their own strategy. Okay, look at the temperament of the protests and devise a security model that will fit and guarantee safety. That is what they should do. Because when protest is not, you can't even confine people to one place to protest. The truth is that there is no venue. I can start my own in my house. I can use my phone, go online and do my own. I can be on the street, I can be anywhere. So are you saying that people who don't have the means of transportation to the location should not protest? Protest is generalized. Even Jesus Christ protested. You understand? When they turned the house of God, when thieves, people came there to sell something in the synagogue, he turned the table upside down. He used horsewhip to flog people out of that place. That's protest. So I don't know if anyone that's the religion. So the truth is that protest is critical as long as leadership is failing, as long as the president does not have tact, he does not understand what he's doing, he's not following, he's not doing what he should do to enable the citizens find their bearing. He took an oath of office to guarantee their safety. He has failed in that. He took an oath of office to steer the economy according to Section 16 of the Constitution in such a way that will guarantee prosperity. He has failed in that. He took an oath of office to provide employment for the people. He has failed. So he has failed in all the lists, his own manifesto. So what is now left is for the citizens to go out there and make a demand that, having failed in all this, when are you going to pass in one? People must protest. So, I mean, this thing that say, hey, don't go because the people will come and hijack the process. Who is coming to hijack the process? The NSAS protest was government that came and introduced violence to it. Okay? Now, they have started again to warn people. In the meeting yesterday, unfortunately, I couldn't speak because my Zoom was acting out, but I was in the meeting yesterday. You know, and Femi Falana SM made it clear, okay, that the strategy that have been devised so far is devoid of violence. There's no part wherein there's violence, okay, in this whole thing. Eduardo Borua, SAN, spoke yesterday on what the protesters want to do, the parameters and all, direct to the IG. You understand? Effiong spoke yesterday. He told the IG that, let it be on record, that during his time, when he was or is, in future, we will reference it, that there was a protest that was organized under his administration. And it was peaceful because the police were up and doing. And this is an opportunity for him to write his name in gold directly. You understand? I couldn't make my contribution because my Zoom was going off and on. Okay? So we had a fruitful meeting. The meeting was later on televised by Channels TV. So we have met all the conditions. In fact, there were no conditions stated in the law other than that the protest should be peaceful. But this one, they have not engaged the security agents, spoken to them, written the demands sent to them, okay, of the people and all that. So we've even gone beyond the intention here. You see steps taken so far. Anywhere in the world, we show you that these people meant well. They only intended to protest. Okay, when the law didn't say we should write any demand I'm going to give anybody. The law didn't say you should have a Zoom meeting.
Demand can even be free. Can even vary.
Yeah, yes.
Because your own demand may not be my own demand.
Okay.
Yes, may not be my own demand.
Water in my house.
One of my demands are people are defecating on the expressway now opposite my office. That's part of my demand. And I've gone to court. So they can't tell us where to go.
Barrister Philip, thank you so much. Now, Barrister Soji, I want to ask now, looking at the way the whole protest is going, the anti-protest and the security agents, looking at it now, do it appear as though the security agents will protect the protesters as that when we go far back 2012?
I am in doubt because of a conflicting position of the security agencies. I listened to the Commissioner of Police in Abuja on Channel TV, I think 3 days ago or so, on a particular program. And the way he was sounding, he's sounding like a normal, average good police officer. Even though he's a commissioner of police in Abuja, he's sounding like those boys that you say that are threatening people. That's what the way he's sounding. He's telling people. In fact, they even asked him specifically. They said if they think that they will bring gun out. Yes, he said it. That if they're peaceful, they will be peaceful with them. If there's a crisis, are you going to carry fire? And they ask him that question. He said, yeah, they will. And if anything happens, they will be ready to. It depends on the way he sounded on that day. It was sounding like a
very belligerent.
Exactly. He was sounding like those kind of people. So I cannot guarantee that people will press. Then you see the IGP maturely, and he's talking in a professional manner. He knows that these are the rights of the people that are supposed to, and he's aware that these people in government today have done the same thing. In fact, some people are claiming that Sowore and Co are abroad and they are asking people to protest. The current president and some of his lieutenants were somewhere abroad when they were protesting and saying they were fighting for democracy. I remember the same thing they accused Nnamdi Kanu of doing, that he's doing the higher radio station.
They set up a restaurant there in London. And they were broadcasting to Nigeria.
They were making Nigeria look like exactly what they claimed Nnamdi Kanu was doing. They did it. These are the people that did it. They came out that they don't know who and who are behind it. The former governor of Ekiti State came out to say he was one operating on that particular place at that time, that he was in charge. He was the one managing. He's not only him, but he was the one in charge of the program organization or whatever. So both of them, they were there, and they also acknowledged that Aswaju was sponsoring them. And that even the protests that have been going on in this country today, and before now, Aswaju was part of it and has been leading. Because they are using how to justify that to come out. And they were exposing the president, saying that he led protests.
Yes, 2012.
So accusing people of sponsoring protests. I don't see anywhere in our law where they say when you sponsor protests, you have committed an offense. I don't see any area because they are saying make it look like people are sponsoring protests. Why are you are working against your country? They do not sponsor violence. They cannot say they are sponsoring violence. What they are saying they are sponsoring is protest. In fact, it is the government narrative that it will be violent, and that's an assumption.
The responsibility of government and the police is, if I were them, they should go and buy Coke, mineral, all those biscuits, enough refreshment that they will share for the protesters. You see, the truth is that this protest is not for the average citizen of Nigeria. This protest is specifically for the police. Have you seen where they live? their lifestyle. Okay, you see, they need that protest more than the citizens, and that is why when you look at those who are reasonably educated in the force, in any of the security, their approach is always different. They don't have this rowdy mindset about it, because human right is universal.
Not all those who are educated.
Yes,
the
no.
CP Abuja is I should believe that he should be educated.
And education, the influence of education on people varies. There are a lot of people who went through school, they are not educated, but they just went there and all that. So what I'm saying is, reasonably so, you see that the higher officers who have attended trainings and who are exposed, really exposed, they don't get themselves involved in asking citizens not to exercise their right. It's selfish for you to do that.
Yes, talking about...
tell me that I have a right to protest, but I should not protest.
Now, if that what Asari Dokubo said yesterday, what should be said by somebody who's in support of the protest, by this morning you will have been arrested. He will have been arrested. They will say he's instigating a crisis.
For me, Asari Dokubo's issue is Asari Dokubo's statement is insignificant. Who is Asari Dokubo in Nigeria?
No, I know, but I'm just talking about
is it a governor or
I understand. The security agency, and that's why I cannot guarantee.
I understand.
When you ask me, I cannot guarantee whether or not that. In fact, I must tell you, I must tell you my mind that protest will turn to crisis, because the government will want to force them to dispatch, and then they want to. And those people who are calling for no protest will take advantage of that.
Yes. So just before we wind up for today, looking at the history of protests, particularly, let's just go a couple of months back to United States of America. As against Israel-Gaza issue, there was a protest in Washington, D.C. and other parts of the United States, particularly the universities, right, where people came up and were chanting, slogans as against Israel. At that time, some people equally came up with their own faction and said, they don't believe in what you believe. And of course, there was some issues that happened. Police came up and everything, cooled off. So don't you think those who are against the #EndBadGovernance protest are equally right to protest against what they don't believe?
As long as they are doing it peacefully, as long as they are not threatening others. Of course, they have a right to go and protest, but they must not go and protest with the slogan, if they want you to come out and protest. That is adversarial. You understand? It shouldn't be that way. If you're saying don't protest, say no to protest, that's their own.
Organize yourself.
They are doing so, but there's no incitement in them. That's why the protest comes with a lot of incitement and the expression of valor. There's no expression of valor, because the spirit is not there. The body has collected gratification, and then the spirit is unwilling to cooperate with the body. But those who are saying end bad governance, they have a right to do so, and because governance is not really working here, so they have a right to do so. So we can have two versions of the protest. One, people who are saying the country is okay. It's fine. It's okay. We don't have any problem.
Is it right to have them in the same venue?
Well, there's nothing in the law that says you cannot have people who are protesting for and against. Of course, the law cannot capture everything. Okay? Yeah, as long as it's peaceful. As long as they are not coming there to foment trouble. To say you go back, don't protest this. And nobody have a right under the law to tell anybody not to protest. You can do your own. Those other persons will do their own. And as long as we're able to raise enough consciousness, as long as we're able to raise it to a point where the government is able to look at the issues again, review them again, and then make an informed decision, and then count the people into policy making. See, it is important we protest. You don't know how many issues we can get addressed in one protest. People look at the answer and say, hey, he failed. Nothing failed. They ended SARS. They ended SARS. And the next day, otherwise, between that time and now, 2020, the SARS of people would have killed millions again. Okay, and the next day, maybe the government, they started asking for a change of regime. That's when the government came in. So we can make all demands. That's why they say write your demands and bring it. They know why, so that when you go outside it, they will say these are the demands you submitted. But this one is not even like the NSAS protest. This one is gradually having a face of leadership. Even though you may not say everybody will congregate around them, because even other people have their own demands. Okay, but we meet government somewhere. Okay, you meet somewhere and then make sure that what the objective is not to destroy Nigeria. The objective is to reform the country.
Very true. The objective is to reform Nigeria. And just to let you know that right here on Enterprise Television, we would give you up-to-date information, excerpts and everything that you need to know. Hopefully, if the protest, of course, takes on tomorrow. Yes. Thank you very much, Pastor Vansu Feli, for being part of our show.
My pleasure.
Pastor Tunji Abdulhamid, thank you so very much always for being part of our show today, Chuma.
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah.
And at this point, I want to say a very big thank you. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms.
At enterprisetvnews.com, and also follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I'm Henry Igwibike.
And I'm Choma Kone.
On behalf of the entire team, thank you once more for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.